She's always a step above anyone else I've ever met. Yeah, I just can't get enough. The way that she shines blows my mind. She's everything I've ever dreamed of. So I'm gonna take every chance that I get just to tell her how I feel. Hey there, cowboy, what you waiting for? Take your cowgirl out on that floor, spin her around, turn her upside down till she can't take it no more. Hey cowboy, tell her she looks good, that she's the hottest girl in this world, the prettiest thing you've ever laid eyes on. Hey there, cowboy, show her off. That smile, yeah, she lights up every room. No one can compare. It's hard not to stare. She makes my four-wheel mud tires turn. I'm stuck on her. She's the one. I just can't look away. I'm so damn proud. I wanna shout it out loud. I love her more every day. So I'm gonna take every chance that I get just to tell her how I feel. Hey there, cowboy, what you waiting for? Take your cowgirl out on that floor, spin her around, turn her upside down till she can't take it no more. Hey cowboy, tell her she looks good, that she's the hottest girl in this world, the prettiest thing you've ever laid eyes on. Hey there, cowboy, hey cowboy, what you waiting for? Take your sweetheart out on that floor, spin her around, turn her upside down till she can't take it no more. Hey cowboy, tell her she looks good, she's the hottest thing in this world, the prettiest thing you've ever laid eyes on. Hey there, cowboy, she's the prettiest girl you've ever laid eyes on. Hey there, cowboy, show her off. Show her off. Show her off. Hey cowboy, show her off.
Whoa, Kinsman, what did you do with the backdrops? They're like, what's going on here?
Yeah, we're showing off our new fonts.
All the new
I made a
fonts.
joke the other day. We changed our fonts, and I said it's
Yeah.
a fantastic day. No one caught
Yeah.
on during one of the midday blasts.
Oh, no.
The joke went over everybody's head. I said it was a fantastic
You know,
Monday.
You know when you're in your
Yeah.
mid-20s and you get excited to go out with the guys or whatever, a group of friends, and now in our 40s we get excited to show off the new font.
We get excited to show off new fonts, our new merch, and for tonight's show, should say we're showing off our new mugs. Look at that,
All right.
our new 2022 mugs, and you have a chance to win those simply by putting in the hashtag K&K mugs.
Right.
That's as easy as it gets, and we'll award 4 of them, so 4 winners at the end of tonight's show.
Are you going to deliver them?
I just might, yeah, depending on where they live. If they live outside of the city limits, possibly tomorrow. But if they're within Timmins, I'll deliver them after the show.
You're a good man. Are those the ones you've had your coffee in, or these are like new?
No, these are brand new. These are brand new from our batch when we were selling them down at the Rock game, that one game for the Cat Bay dip. So some leftovers, and we're going to give them away.
So this is going to be an interesting show. So I worked 17 years in human resources before I did this, and got to do a lot of things. But the most common question I got, like, I get really nervous in an interview. So do you got any tips or tricks? Right. So I've done a lot of these mock interviews. So here's how I think it should go tonight. So I'm going to interview you, Kinsman. Now,
you're going to interview me.
Yeah.
You know what's funny, though? In the track record of all the jobs I've ever had, I've only had to submit two resumes. One for the job when I first came here back in 2009. I submitted a resume for that job, and the other ones I'll unveil how I got them. One of them I actually got the job because someone never showed up for work. I took their job, and then they ended up hiring me. So,
was this the job you're telling me about? Someone called the number, and then a mail goes and visits someone's home for a dining experience?
Not a dining experience. No.
That wasn't that job.
Sounds similar. You know those people that used to go door to. You know those people that go door to door and they sell at the time. Well, this company was selling the vacuums. You get the door to door, vacuum people, guys. And I was selling air purifiers. Try selling that. The price tag on them, it was like $5,000. No one's buying those, but they used to pay you, send you out, go out there. Yeah, I was tossed out on my arse with the machine on people's lawns. People cried when I did their presentation because you're scaring them to death with dust mites and everything else. You gotta get this, or else dust mites are gonna fly everywhere.
My first HR job was in a call center. We're the people that called you to do like the hour-long survey at supper time.
Those are terrible.
I've learned a whole bunch.
They still are terrible. Even to this day, they always call in around the, nowadays they should know that everybody probably has, a cell phone or some type of device for a call at any time. So I don't know why they keep calling around dinner, because I don't care who you are at dinner time. I'm having supper. I'll hang up on you.
Jenna
call with an unknown number.
Jenica says the machine was huge and a fortune. Did you sell her one?
Yeah, no, didn't sell. I didn't sell up here. I actually did this for, I was down in Barrie at the time.
Okay.
And I was selling it was called Crystal Air. For all I know, they could have come up this way. They used to travel all over the place. I remember going on weekend road trips and where people actually bought, a $5,000 unit. They used to pay us cash. It was like $500 or $700 per unit in our pocket at the end of the day. So it was actually pretty good if you found buyers. But as they called them, ducks. The ducks usually bought, and the rest were too smart and said, "Get the hell out of here."
There we go. And now you're bragging about new fonts. Okay, so this is how it's gonna work.
Yeah.
You're in the office now, waiting on the HR person to come and interview you. Okay.
Okay.
And you're going to be interviewing for Clomp Wakefield Dairies. It was actually my grandfather's
Wakefield Dairies.
Clomp Wakefield Dairies. You're interviewing for as a delivery guy. This is a legitimate business. My grandfather ran this business. Now you got to wait on the HR guy. Would you like some elevator music while you're waiting on the HR guy?
Possibly. Yeah, put some elevator music on, and we'll wait for you to change into your interview garb. So there we are. Clomp's going to come back and interview us. But anybody who has a job anywhere, it doesn't matter what you're doing, you always have to go through the tips. They always tell you the main tips, even dating back to when I went to interviews. Got to be assertive and, go in there smelling like your poop don't stink and ask for the job. So, you know what, where do I hang my coat? Where's my office? And start on that rapport. And usually that shows a sign of a very positive sign. And again, there's other ones that some red flags that you don't want to do: oversharing personal information or shooting off at
good evening.
Oh, there he is.
Good evening. Clomp. Good evening. Well, first of all, big mistake. You never call the HR guy Clomp. Off the bat.
Hi, Mr. Clomp.
Wait, my collar, it won't stick in.
You know who you need? You need Holly from My Animal to help us out.
I know. Okay, I can't dress myself. Okay, here we go. So Good day, Mr. Kinsman. Usually when I come and interview in an evening. Thank you for joining us today. We appreciate your time.
Well, thank you so much for having me.
All right.
I'm looking forward to this job.
Ooh, you already cut off the interview, guys. So let me just take a note right there. That's not a good point. All right. So pretty simple. This is an interview. And we know everyone gets really nervous when it comes to an interview, but we're just going to ask questions that we're going to ask about you. So it's just a conversation between friends. Nothing that will stump you. Okay? What is the weight of a dairy truck? I'm just joking. That's off. That's office humor.
I'm going to say a ton.
We like to have fun around here. You know, we expect our employees to work around the clock and not spend much time with their families, but we like to have a little bit of fun. Tell us about yourself. Are you a fun person?
I'm fun.
That's it? You're fun? Do you care to elaborate?
I'm a fun. I'm a fun bundle of joy personality that would, any office would be happy to have, especially a dairy.
Okay. So why do you want to work at Klomp Wakefield Dairies? You know, my name is on the sign on the front door, so you'd be representing the Klomp name. So why do you want to work here?
I want to work here because I've heard how awesome it is to be a part of such a legendary chain and the Wakefield area.
Okay, fair enough. Are you able to get along with your colleagues?
Sometimes.
Can you tell us?
Probably sometimes doesn't work for the interview.
Well, I would ask you to elaborate about this. Tell us about a time you did not get along with one of your colleagues and what you did to resolve this.
Smacking gum in the middle of a lunchroom when it's supposed to be quiet time, having lunch.
Right. So your only workplace conflict is when you were chewing gum when you were young.
Yes.
Okay. So you haven't had much conflict in your life?
No conflicts. No, not too often.
Do you consider yourself a team player or an individual driver?
I am a team player, but I can work individually as well. But I do enjoy the team aspect of the job.
The team aspect. You don't look like now. We expect our employees to put in the most effort here at Klomp Wakefield Dairies, and we expect them to at least shave every morning, which you didn't do for this interview.
I didn't even shave for the interview.
No, could we expect a clean, smiling face every morning here at the dairy?
You sure can. You sure can. While I'm delivering milk with a smile. Yes, no 5 o'clock shadow.
Let me ask you a hypothetical situation, Mr. Kinsman, because I'm a little bit concerned with your experience. You know, you're on social media and you make goofy videos with that bald-headed guy that's not even funny. So I'm a little bit worried about you taking this job seriously. You deliver to Pine Street North, we'll say 322. It's a regular customer. They're upset because you were supposed to bring chocolate milk and you brought the 2%. How do you de-escalate the situation?
How do I de-escalate it? Well, first of all, you go back and apologize. I would say, hey, sorry for the mix-up. Looks like you got chocolate instead of white. So here's your perfect day. You're going to still keep the chocolate, and here's your proper white. And of course, the chocolate would come out of my pay.
The chocolate. Well, I hope you're not drinking the chocolate milk on the job. Good
not drinking it on the job. No.
Right.
And but as they say, the customer is always right.
Okay. But if Miss Periwinkle says, Kinsman, you doofus, this is the 3rd time this week. I want my milk now, and I want to speak with your manager. What would be your next step, sir?
I would go and grab the manager and get them to address the situation, defuse it right off the hop. Never let anything. You want to put the fires, the big fires early.
So you would expect me
in that conflict.
You would expect me, your manager, to come in and fix the issue you caused? We're not off to a good start.
I would try to fix it. Well, I would fix it myself, yes. But if it escalated where they said they needed to speak to a manager, I would bring them to the front of the line.
That's right. Okay. What do you do on your spare time to relax and wind down?
I like to play golf, hockey. I like to go for walks, hang out with my kids.
Right. I perceive you to be a bit of a beer drinker. You wouldn't come to the job smelling like a 705.
Not smelling like beer.
No. You would consider yourself a professional person.
Yes, I'd be a professional person.
Now, are you flexible in terms of work hours?
I can work various hours.
Right.
But preferably, I would choose daytime.
Mm-hmm.
But if I had to, I could adjust to different hours.
Well, I hate to disappoint you, but one of our best customers, Lori Ball, you see her logo on the show. She needs her milk by 5 a.m. So your shift starts at 3, sir. Would this pose any conflicts to you?
No conflicts.
No You're very short in your answer. You're not a talkative gentleman, are you?
No, I'm a talkative gentleman, but that's my answer.
Right. Okay.
Want me to elaborate? I would wake up super early and deliver lorries. Or maybe we'd find someone else who could do the earlier shift, and if it, if it worked around my shift,
right. So you haven't started here, and you haven't started here, and you're already assigning work to someone else.
I'm assuming I've already got the job. Yeah.
Right. Assumptions are trouble, my friend.
That's right.
What would your last boss say about your performance?
Amazing.
Mm-hmm. Amazing. Now, so you had a performance review, and the only one thing on that was the word amazing?
Very personable, very professional, and got the job done. Hard worker. Shows up on time, very punctual.
This hard worker must be a bit of a disguise. I'm not really seeing it today. What are your salary expectations here at the dairy?
Minimum wage.
You want to make more than me? Minimum wage. You want to make, and in terms of vacation, we don't have any. Our pension plan
is benefits.
Well, the benefit is that you get to work with me. Should that be suffice to you, sir?
What about dental? Nothing. Nothing in the lines of dental, doctors,
well, yes,
healthcare.
Yes. Every Christmas, your bonus is a toothbrush, so that should suffice with that. Are you able to provide me with a list of work references?
I could provide a work reference list.
Okay. Well, I've seen the email you sent me with your work references, and these are just people you hang out with at Full Beard. These are work references, sir.
They are references, though. They would give me a good push for the job.
They give you a good. And when are you able to start?
I could start as soon as possible.
So you're going to leave your current employer, KINZ and Klomp, without any notice?
2 weeks notice. 2 weeks notice.
2 weeks notice. All right. And the last thing I want to know is gauge your interest in the job. Are there any questions for me?
Any questions for you? Why is this position open in the first place?
Well, because the last employee, I couldn't stand him and I fired him. Any other questions?
No. When do I start?
We will get back to you, sir. We need to check your references. Your salary expectations are way too high. They're absolutely they're unreasonable. Yeah. You know, the governing laws do not affect our business. And you haven't even, like in the comments, you haven't even asked to go see the production line, to go visit the cows, to go look at the truck. There seems to be
I take a tour. Well, I'll take a tour. That's right.
You'll take a tour. Okay, but I'm going to let you off the hook. So
you're fired instantly.
Yes, definitely off this spot. You're definitely terminated. Now, okay, so that's a fun scenario. But now you tell me. So what are some things that you think you could have done better in that interview?
Probably the whole thing.
Well, start for an example.
Start for an example?
Yeah.
I'm going to say I would, yes. First of all, I would come first shaved. I would probably do more research on the dairy, Klomp Dairy.
Yeah.
And probably would have come in for a tour beforehand. Couple of the red flags that they say that you should be doing.
Right. Yes.
Or shouldn't be doing, avoiding before you go into an interview.
And you should always have examples on, if someone asks you about your previous performance and you say amazing, it needs to be more than just one word. It would have to be something along the lines of, no, I mean,
exceptional.
No, it should be, it was amazing. Let me give you an example. I worked on this team project and I took the lead and we had these deadlines and I was well organized and there was success in the project. It led to a promotion. You got to add some substance to that. The people know that you're behind it. Yes. Yeah, that's right. Another thing that you can do is definitely know a little bit about the business.
Mm-hmm.
Right? You don't need to be an expert, but a web page search can definitely tell you when it was incorporated, how many employees work there, where it's based out of, what they do on a day-to-day basis.
Yes.
And always have an example where you've had conflict in the workplace, because everyone has, and then how you resolved it, because that's a standard interview question. And show some confidence.
Always going with confidence. That's right. Got to be assertive. Yeah. You almost have to go in to every job, as they say, going in like your shit don't stink, and assume that you get the position. They always say you want to be right off the hop, super positive.
Well, so you didn't dress appropriately, Susan says. No. Amanda says you're fired on the spot before you got hired. You could ask some questions. Hey, do you need your own boots? You could have been a little bit more prepared.
Got
there.
My own boots.
Yeah, that's right. Probation. It's always good to ask about a probationary period. I don't know if you would have made the probationary period there. Ask for lots of money. It's hard, but you know what? I've never liked going for interviews and they never told the employee the salary range, because what's one of the things you ask when you're going for an interview?
You want money, or you want to know if there's benefits involved, especially if you have kids. I
always give them a salary range, because if a lot of people are shy to ask those questions, but you wanted minimum wage, so you set the standard really low there. So you didn't do any research on the company. They pay some of the best wages.
They pay by mileage.
Yeah,
per delivery.
Right. So Jenica says you don't want to talk about your last job. Yes, that would be a red flag for an HR person, because it looks like you're hiding something.
Yes.
Right. Yeah. Right. So you probably want to provide, you can at least at the basics state what you did there.
Yes, you can.
Right. And you never want to say anything negative about your ex-employer, because the company will think you'll just say something negative about them after you leave this place.
Very true. Very true. Yeah,
that's it. I was all dressed up. Yes. Joanne says the best job ever is retirement.
Yes, it is.
So what can't you ask? Don't say you're a single parent. It's an issue for moms anyways. Well, they can't discriminate because of that.
No, they can't discriminate. No.
But I understand what you're saying, because some employers would say, oh, single parent, there's going to be babysitting issues, even though that's a violation of someone's rights. You can't make a judgment based on that scenario. You shouldn't be asking about age, sex. What about if you're physically fit? Let me test you here, Kinsman. Can you ask someone that?
I don't know. I don't know if you can ask that, but you can say the job does require some light lifting. Some places say, can you lift, 25, maybe 30, 40 pounds.
Right.
Especially if you're going to be, coach operator, like, Anne Moran out there with Ontario Northland.
So you can't ask someone you cannot ask someone if they have any health issues, but you can say, along the lines of what you're saying, this job demands that you lift up to 50 pounds. Do you foresee any issues with that?
Yeah, there's not going to be any issues. They say no, then they, bend down, pick up the first box a few days in, then they're off on sick leave after day 3. Probably not a good idea for the job.
Right.
Or a good candidate for the job anyway.
Amanda says, ask the employers, what do they like about the job and company? Perfect. If you get stumped on asking a question, that's actually a perfect one to ask.
Well, the one question was, you ask why that position is vacant. Why did the last person leave? What happened to them? And I've never asked that in the situation. Have you heard that question through HR before?
Oh, almost every single time. Yeah. And you never asked the question, when can I hear back from you next? Didn't look like you had any interest in the job. Do your research. Mary, I always advise people to keep a journal of times when their performance would be good examples in an interview. Then review the journal before an interview. Yes, exactly.
Very good.
Sometimes it's difficult to brag about yourself, to hype yourself up. So this is a time you can refer back to it.
Jenica say there, my last interview was for project administrator at Cote. Me, computers and tech hates me. I talk too much, and I'm firm on following rules and not shy to confront someone. Them, your hires, LOL.
Okay, so let me ask you another question. A lot of people, technology is not their friend. It's a perfect example Jenica is giving. So if I would say this job requires you to be familiar with Microsoft Office,
Yeah.
and you don't like computers, hypothetically saying, what would your response be?
I would say, well, you can't lie, right? If you
No.
lie and say, yes, I'm a computer whiz, and then I fire a, a 7-page report, you're going to fail miserably. So this is where you say, you know what, I have never heard, or I've, maybe lightly used this software, but I'm willing to learn or be trained on.
Right. Or you could go on and say, I'm going to register for some online classes to be prepared for this job. Whether you do that or not, who knows? Would you do that or what?
If it was required to get the job, yes.
Yeah. Physical requires if the job is physically usually, yeah, absolutely true.
A lot of that's the criminal background checks now.
All right. Do you have a criminal record?
Yeah, there's still in.
You do have a criminal record. Can you list me how long it is?
Criminal record, no. But you know what? I've seen people who refuse that. If they've had issues in the past and they just don't want to bother going through a criminal background check. I've seen people who have gone to the job 100% could have been fine for the job and position, but it's because of the criminal background check they didn't get it.
And if someone hasn't mentioned it, don't tell them you can't work certain hours or certain days. Yeah, 1,000%. Always look like you can work around the clock. When I worked at Bombardier, we were hiring people. We probably hired about 150 people in like a month, and everyone, I can work any hour that you put on me. Then about 90% of them, what, weekends? What, evenings? No, I can't do that. I'm in the beer league hockey game.
Even harder nowadays, right now, trying to get positions filled, from people coming, from the 2 years of hiatus with COVID, not too many people willing to jump back into the employment scene.
Here's a great comment from Dave.
This is
my favorite question. Where do you see yourself in the first week, month, and year of this employment? Let's take that for a spin run, Kinsman. Where do you see yourself in the first week, month, and year with this company?
Learning to better my craft with this position, and down the road I'm going to take your job. That's what I would say.
You got a lot of X's on my checklist, I must tell you. I don't even know.
Out of that. It's going to be called KINZ's Dairy at the end of end of my tenure.
Right. I'm going to take your job. I love that. Here's Lori.
Yeah, well, Lori says, when I went for my interview for Pick of the Crop, they didn't ask anything about previous employer because they too were my previous employers at Loeb and IGA. 26 years with the same bosses. Congratulations. 26 years for Lori, and she's sponsoring tonight's show, by the way.
Yeah, and we got a little surprise for Lori near the end of the show, my friend.
We do.
Right. So Lori's one of the few now. That's an old school mentality where people work for the same company 20, 25, 30 years. Right. Nowadays, your T4s come and people have like 16 of them. They're at a new job every 6 months and they becm professional.
Makes taxes an absolute nightmare when you have so many. You don't know if there's T4s coming in, T4As. There's so many T's.
Here's another boo-boo you made. Didn't talk about your volunteer experience.
That's right.
Are you a community asset, Kinsman?
Should have talked about all my volunteer experience. But then again, to my volunteer experience, I guess it can all funnel down to whatever job you choose, including milk delivery.
What do you think the number one thing? Well, maybe it could be in the top 3 that employers look for.
The top 3 that employers are looking for, I'm going to say, to be assertive right off the hop and go in there with a ton of confidence.
No, but what assets are they looking in people, generically speaking? Selena has one.
Yeah, being reliable. You want to be reliable. You want to be punctual. You want to be, you want to be confident.
Yes, but they're definitely looking for people that are reliable, people that are a good team player, and people that are flexible. Confident is more of a personality asset.
Okay,
Joanna, I
what'd she
worked
say?
in a high school cafeteria. We had to have a background check done. It's a must. Yeah. If you work with a vulnerable population, senior citizens, children, no point going for an interview if you're not going to give them a background check because you won't get the job. Carol worked 37 years for the same company, but not the same bosses. Seen a few of them over the years. Was that? I got a question for Carol's and the Lori's, potentially. When you work for the same company for a long time, but new bosses come in and the philosophies change, was that like an easy transition or was that difficult? Because you can work for the same company, but every manager is a different style, right?
Everybody has a different type of micro managing, or sometimes it could be micromanaging, could be lack of management, throwing more jobs than you were used to. So yeah, again, it could be different. There's Lynn saying hello.
Name, age, and do you like sex? No, you don't answer that one during the interview. That's too personal.
Yeah, don't overshare your personal information, especially if you know people in the position. Say, hey, I was dating the admin down here. I'm a shoo-in for the position. Apparently, that's not the right answer to get into a position.
Experience, confidence, and friendliness. Yes, and people with good customer service, because if you're working with the public, you're going to deal with all types of characters. My son works at Tim Hortons, and every shift there's like 3 or 4 of them that are intentionally try to get underneath your nerves. You got to have a cool hand.
You got to have really thick skin to work with the customer fan base. And I'm pretty sure Lori can relate to that. She deals with a ton of customers on a daily basis. Joanne says some people come in 2 hours late for their interview. Not good. Yeah. I've seen people actually have their job, they don't even bother talking to you. You've come too late.
So, like I mentioned before, my first HR job was at a call center, and pretty much if you had a SIN number, you got a job. But let me tell you 2 interviews that when I interviewed these people that stuck in my mind. One, someone wore headphones the whole interview with music on. Literally, like I don't even know what they knew what I was saying.
Could they hear your questions?
I don't know. They just nodded. Number 2, Kinsman, I don't know if you believe me or believe me not, but my office was like all glass. So people saw this. So I was interviewing a lady in her 20s, and we're like, all right, we're at the end of the interview. And she's like, well, did I get the job? And I'm like, okay, well, we're interviewing people today and we're going to let you know. And she did this. You know what I'm doing here? Did I get the job? Okay. Literally, like I was just
flashing the boss.
I turned like this, like looked like at a 90-degree angle away.
You'd be like, she'd be fun at the Christmas party, that one.
Yeah, so we hired her as the manager. No, I'm just joking. But no, you meet all types of people in these interview process. Yeah, so if you come in 2 hours late for an interview, that's probably a no-go.
Yeah, not good at all. Tell you, one of my first experiences of getting a job. It's funny when I stumbled into broadcasting back in 1997. That's how long ago this has been going for me. I never even wanted to speak on air at the time when I started broadcasting. My job, my first introduction to radio way back was. There was a guy back in the day where there was no, obviously radio is all digital now, but at the time it was all non-digital. The show was coming up. It was like 6 a.m. I said, where's this guy, coming in for the 6 a.m. show? I was doing Sunday morning religion at the time. This is where they had me doing, production assistant. That's what I was training to do. And he didn't show up. So I said, I'm going to take all the CDs off the wall. I grabbed his music playlist. I said, I'm going to be the DJ at 6 o'clock. And that's how I got my job.
There you go. It's like a Howard Stern story. Are you bilingual? Gets me every time. Well, I mean, some jobs you're required to be bilingual.
Yeah, some do. I'm glad my boys growing up are now bilingual. They'll better their chances for, future employment down the road.
Customer service to me is like one of the most difficult jobs out there. Everyone that works there has a horror story like every single day. A good manager makes good employees. Sad there are not so many managers that don't appreciate the good staff. 1,000%. 1,000%.
That's what they say. They say you don't normally dislike the job, you dislike the management.
Amanda says, I left a slow, do my own work temp job for extremely fast paced, always in demand job. New career, loving it so far. Congratulations, Amanda. That's awesome.
Yes. Amazing.
High confident interview. There we go. Here's one from Barb Kinsman.
Yeah, Barb says in 1977, I would have been -1 when this happened, Barb. She started to work at Canadian Tire in Thunder Bay as a cashier. The plan was to work there until I could figure out what I wanted to do with my life. Almost 40 years later, I retired from Canadian Tire Timmins. Guess I found my career. Also, yes, it was very hard whenever Canadian Tire got new owners. They all have different ways of doing things. And pat on the back from Barb. That's a long tenure. And again, you can't find employees that stick around that long.
You know what? It's hard for employees to swallow. Like someone like Barb's been there 40 years and getting a new manager who just joined the company 2 weeks and doesn't talk to someone like Barb. Hey, what's working here and what needs to be improved? They just implement all their own. So that's what you were going to do at Clomp Wakefield Dairies. You're just going to come over and change the sign to Kinsman Dairies without even empathizing with the family name.
That's right. Yeah, that's being assertive. I'm being assertive. I'm planning my 5-year plan. I'm like, well, if it's going to be Clomp Dairy, if I'm going to be hanging around here long enough, it's gonna have KINZ on there somewhere.
No cussing on the job. Well, I don't know.
No cussing.
You ever go underground mine? That's if you don't cuss, you're the outcast. Yes, that's right.
So some days, not every day.
But really it is. Okay, so as an HR person, everyone knows it's uncomfortable to interview because it's difficult to talk about yourself. But definitely like the basics. Get a good night's rest, do some research on the company. Definitely have some examples of 2 or 3 examples of things you did really well, and maybe 1 or 2 examples of things that didn't go well and how you went about to fix it. I have questions asked at the end of the interview, and what you were saying before Mark went on the air, a follow-up is nice too. Email. Thanks for the interview. I appreciate meeting everyone. Excited to work with the team.
I was always taught though. See, they say that's actually a good step after the interview. I was also told that looks like you're pushy. You know, hey, have you come to your decision? Because most jobs are, the selected candidates will be contacted after for the position. Where this says, afterwards, send a thank you note or something to make your resume and your interview process stand out.
So at the end of the day here, in this scenario, do you think you would have got the job?
For Clomp Dairy, probably yes. Would I have survived for the probation? Probably not.
Okay, let me ask you this question then. Yeah. If we're rating your interview out of 10
speakers on top of this dairy, the dairy mobile, I'll announce that I'm coming down people's neighborhoods.
you're gonna be at Algonquin at 4 a.m. Out of 10 the best, 1 the worst. Where would you rank your interview?
I'm gonna say that was probably a 6 or a 7.
Oh my god.
You would have just you would have said, you know what, forget the questions. Here are the keys. Truck 5. Here's your list. Go.
Truck 5's the one with like the broken transmission.
Right, the standard one. Let's see if you can drive stick shift.
Yeah, there's some tough jobs out there that people do though. Customer service, teachers.
No.
Anyone.
It's hard to find customer service. Well, here's an example. I won't say the store, but I was at a store. And I asked for help. There's people, it says, ask the people wearing these certain colored uniforms, and you go find one. Hi, I'm looking for this so-and-so piece. Can you help me? That's not my department. See you later. All right. And then they take off. And then you're like, well.
PSWs. Yeah. Shout out to PSWs. I thought these are hard jobs and jobs that, they deserve like double the wage that they're getting right now, in my mind. Definitely. But here's a benefit for interviewing now. 10 years ago, you put out a job ad and you get 100 applicants and you may want to talk to 5 or 6 of them. Nowadays, you put out a job ad, you get 0. if the first person to apply is probably going to get the job. And we've heard, a lot of employers. So it's now like the applicants market right there. So if you put on a half decent interview, you're probably going to be successful. So not so much wait on the interview anymore.
So if you show up willing, you're showing the initiative to get going, and
no one wants. I can't figure. Joanne, no one wants to work. Yeah, I hear this. Is it true? Like where?
Well, is it because of? They were saying because of the it was the COVID CERB.
Okay, but that's done
when
with.
CERB came out, people were they didn't want to get back into work.
But that's all done with. So what are they doing now? It's a new world.
Are they finding stuff to do online? A lot of online work from home jobs. They might be taking over. But
there's a hard job, a 911 operator.
Yeah,
911. Oh God, yes.
That's a challenge every single shift. Certainly.
They definitely want to be. Yeah, that's a little bit different. That changed in the more current generations. Definitely, the younger generation wants to excel quickly. Which, from a motivation standpoint, it's not a bad thing, but you can't go in your first day expecting to be the manager. I hear the famous line, after 1 second, I'll find someone who can help you. Yeah, customer service.
Yeah. And I was told, when you take a position, that is like the 100% wrong answer to say, I don't work here. It's not my job. This is where you take the initiatives and say, you know what? I don't know where it is. Let's go and find it together. That's where you would grab and, you build customer rapport that way.
There you go. Now you know all the right answers because you're off the hot seat.
I'm off the hot seat now. That's right. You've already fired me. I'm looking for my next job now.
That's right. We'll send you your T4 by April 30th. There's more jobs now and better jobs and opportunities. Okay, yeah, it's a good point.
Yeah, but there's a lot of home-based jobs. A lot of people do things from home. COVID, it let people. Obviously the cards were dealt. A lot of people took initiative to work from home. So it's a different ball of wax now.
I have a question for you because we're talking about variants in COVID. Yeah. So I asked my son today. He's a grade 7 at Gorman Intermediate. So my son's not wearing a mask, but I'm like, well, how's that going? And I'm like, do you still want to wear it? He doesn't. I'm like, how many kids are still wearing masks at school? Percentage. What do you think he told me?
I'm going to say pretty high because I've been seeing some other comments throughout the city stating that kids are still willing to wear their masks.
Yeah, they are. Over 50%, he tells me. A, they've become used to it. And 2, he says a lot of people are just wearing because they don't want to get sick. But yeah, over 50% still wearing masks in school. Retail is the worst. I had a job where we've had lots of laughs and good times when the staff gets along and makes you want to go to work, but there's always that one person that complains about everything and reports everything, can never be happy. And the problem with that one person, Susan, is like people spend 80% of their time focusing on that one a-hole instead of 80% of the time on 80% of the good people.
Who else there? Lori says it's not easy to be a supervisor either. No, it's not. Everybody can write you up nowadays for all sorts of silly things.
When I worked for Tembec, imagine this. So I'm going into a very French community, and I'm not bilingual and I'm not French.
Okay.
And I'm just meeting everyone there. They're very proud workers. I'm trying to create some sort of commodity, some sort of bond. 3 weeks into the job, they announced layoffs and I had to announce it to them. Not a good start, my friend.
No, not a good start at all. Because now you look like the bad guy, even though you were told, hey, let's give Klomp the duties here.
Yes. It took a long time for me to build pot, but it turned out to be an awesome job. I love Cochrane. It also costs. Yeah, she has a good point. Go ahead, Kensman.
It also costs less to stay home and raise children than to work. Getting to work at a cost of childcare, it's not worth it.
So if you have a job, that's, let's just say minimum wage, and you have to pay childcare, which is what is childcare now? $30 per child per day, 25,
about $30 or $40 per child per day.
So say 2 children, $70 a day, and you're making minimum wage for 7-8 hours.
It's gone.
Yeah, so I get that. Food Basics has all amazing workers in the mall. Okay, Food Basics, South Porcupine, shout out. Awesome job there. Yeah. Have you been to our grocery store, Kinsman?
I have. I buy grapes there.
I go to Pick of the Crop in Timmins, and I go to Food Basics. Especially when I make Terry mad. I got to go
again. Good, as Joanne says, good, happy workers always make the place. No matter where you're going to shop, if the person who greets you is miserable, you're going to have a miserable shopping experience. Again, it goes back to when we had Annie Harvey on the show, right? It resonates with you with the book The Secret, right? If you're negative, you're going to attract the negativity with you.
I had, in a very short span, in my 17 years, in a very I went through a 1-year transition from the world's best boss I ever had, both women, to the world's worst boss I ever had. And my best boss was she was tough on us. If you missed a deadline, if you did something that was, hurt the reputation of the HR department, you are in for a big chewing. You'll get reprimanded. On the other hand, why I loved her so much, she was getting married and she brought us to where she's gonna have the wedding party. She invited us to her house, so she's very social and very personable. My kids were still here in Timmins. They gave me a ton of time to go and see them. So very personal connection, but hard and straight up front with you. My best boss. And then I had my worst.
Good bosses, the bosses that can become your best friends and good buddies, and ones that you could actually hang out outside of the office. Those
hey, listen, that's hard because it's difficult when you become a supervisor of your friends because they don't respect you. But she it was just a small group of us, right? But she was the best. She had the right balance. Trisha Murdoch was her name. She's from Thunder Bay. She was my boss at Bombardier, and she went on to do other great things in HR. And then I had my worst boss, but it was right after that. And I won't say that person's name, but nonetheless, that was a person, when you have just chit chat with people, how was your weekend? Kids played hockey. Oh, it was a tournament. She said, there's no place in work for talk like that. That was just one example. All right, pal. Janice says 35% of the students. Yeah, a lot of people.
Where she is. Yeah. Well, I saw someone's comment. It was sad to read, stating that some of the kids don't know how, they were used to hiding their smile, maybe self-conscious of their smile before, having masks, and then go 2 years with a mask on. Now they're really self-conscious. So a lot of them have chosen to wear the mask, which I think is that's super sad.
Both of COVID 3 weeks ago. Yeah, so I think it's a split. Hello, Stephanie. How are you doing? All right, pal. So we got to give away some mugs. Before we do that, we do want to thank the sponsors.
Yes,
$850 plus a month. Okay, are we? Is that for childcare?
That's for daycare.
40 plus a day.
In some cases, if it's not subsidized, it can get pricey. Yeah.
Yeah. We're making Susan miss work. 45, but that okay. Yeah, I get that. You got to have a real great paying job to be able to afford that. My son goes for $45 for a full day, $180 every 2 weeks for only 2 days a week. Yeah, it is crazy. Hi, it's horrible. Isn't there some government promises to get this subsidized to $10?
Well, I think that's what is that not what just happened today? That whole the coalition forming between NDP and now Liberal. I thought they were gonna make it even cheaper for daycare with this.
Don't date the boss.
Yeah. Don't date the boss. Issues. No. Especially if you break. Can you imagine breaking? I'm sure people have, as they say, don't dip the pen in the company ink. I was told that back in year 1 or 2 of radio. Don't date any of the receptionists, kids.
No, yeah, you got to settle the air. Got to give you're like a playboy, so You gotta watch you a Clump Wakefield Dairies. Daughter is a waitress at a restaurant, pays $50 a day for childcare.
And her youngest son, she is also a single mother. Again, yes. Boss become family, and that's even harder to work with.
Yeah, yeah, I can imagine.
They fire you, and they're still chummy chum with everybody you know.
It's hard, yeah. Hats off to and then people are mentioning like single mothers or single dads. Geez, even worse if for one income family, right? Customers felt so welcome shopping on Mondays. They saw our smiles they haven't seen in 2 years. Yeah, I love that. It was about 1,215 years ago for 2 kids. So yeah.
Holy Christ.
Yeah, crazy. All right, pal.
Absolutely insane.
Yeah,
1,600 something a month for 2 kids. It is subsidized other provinces. Doug Ford and PM mentioned yesterday they're working on $10 a day, which would make a bit of help there, like the other provinces. So yeah, we need to follow suit with the rest of the provinces there.
No subsidy unless you're working full time. I have health problems. I can't even get a subsidy.
So they make it tough, right? Those are the issues the government should be working on.
There we go, pal. All right. So we want to thank our sponsors, and you may notice on the top right, Lori also sponsored the
Lori
show tonight.
Ball.
I thought that was pretty cool. Someone who watches the show sponsors the show. We did put something together for her, pal, and I'm gonna play that when we get to her slide. How about that? You like that idea, KINZ?
Yeah, we can play that right at the end there.
All right, pal.
So we're going to thank our sponsors again. We can't do this show, which Lori Ball has not missed one episode since we started last December in 2020. And our sponsors keep us going. Thanks to DAP Cleaning Solutions, commercial cleaning excellence guaranteed, cleaning service, carpet cleaner, janitorial service, stripping, waxing floors, windows, any other cleaning, sanitizing job that you require. And Drouin is your gal to call, her team. And for free quotes, book your spring cleaning today. Talked to Ann just a few days ago. She's got a few spots left for spring cleaning. So if you need to get something spring cleaned, give DAP Cleaning Solutions a call, 705-465-3500. And win this space.
Yeah.
4 days to go. Today, tomorrow, Thursday, and Friday. You need to get yourself in to win this space. Over $50,000 in benefits for someone who's going to, let's say, you're whittling shoes, or something in a basement you're creating. Let's just say, for instance, you've got KINZ and Klomp mugs that you want to sell. All right. Well, they're in your basement. Well, if you win this space rent-free for 12 months, you can have a showcase in downtown Timmins. Free. Right, Klomp?
Yeah, amazing opportunity. So Friday's the deadline to get your video submission in.
That's it, downtowntimmins.com. And again, the submission, you don't even have to be on the camera. You can just say who you are, this is why I want to win, and that's all it takes. And again, come drive for Lucian. They've got the March recruitment drive still on. New drivers pick up a $2,000 sign-on bonus, and current drivers will pick up a $1,000 bonus recruiting a new driver. And again, 705-360-4090. A few months left to get us to the summer months. And again, they're still looking for drivers, so give Lucian Transportation and Pat and their crew a call today. And our good friends at Plant-Based Marché, healthy and delicious foods, a vegan grocery lifestyle store. They've got gluten-free options. They've got keto. They've also got, if you saw a video today, they also have plant-based candies.
Oh,
that's cool. Right. Candies are now available. And again, you can walk in there and try them out. 175 3rd Avenue, Timmins, 705-221-1755. And you can see a picture there. They've got plant-based pizzas, which I've been told, haven't tried one yet. That's next on my bucket list. I'm going to have one for lunch this week. I'll let you know. But they say the pizzas, you can't even tell that which one's plant-based and which one's actual real pizza.
Love it.
And V&M Renovations. Shout out to Justin and Matt, 705-372-3832. If you've got some spring renos coming, now that you can start seeing your deck again, snow starting to melt. Maybe you've got some renos. Well, they do it all. General contracting, property management, restoration, drywall, plastering, noticing cracks. Give Justin a call. Doors and windows, flooring, interior, exterior painting, siding, tiles, drone inspection, thermal imaging, and much more. And again, he's posting some jobs that he's done previous that you just might need done for your summer plans. Again, 705-372-3832 to get on board with Vietnam Renovations. And the Timmins Rock getting set to renew season tickets. It's that time of the season where season ticket renewal time is here. And here's the incentive. If you buy and renew your season tickets now, you're also going to get included the upcoming playoff tickets for this year, absolutely free. And the playoff schedule, in fact, the matchups for round one for the Rock, the entire NOJHL will happen this Thursday. We'll release that. And again, get your tickets online at timminsrock.com. And Purple Day. We're still talking about this amazing day from on Saturday, Seizure and Brain Injury Center in Timmins. Their brand new offices, 221 3rd Avenue, Unit 106. And again, we were all dressed in purple. Purple Day coming up on the 26th. So we're going to be down there again on Saturday for a brief party, and we're going to paint the city purple and show our awareness for Epilepsy Awareness Month. And Albert Sports and Workwear. Chantel is back on with KINZ and Klomp Live, and she's making room for spring and summer attire. Big sale to move out some current inventory, like this men's small parka with real fur. It's the last one, so if you know any gentleman who would love this, regular $449. It's on a clear-out price today and this week for $200. And how about this one? Ladies' insulated jacket, sizes in XXL, 2XL, 3XL, various sizes. And look how comfy that looks. Regular price, $180. Look at the sale price on these coats. Like I said, Chantel making way for spring and summer. $60 for that ladies' insulated jacket at Albert Sports and Workwear. And big news from Albert's coming up in the month of April. We can't say too much till then.
Well, we're going to run a pretty awesome promotion that we know. Yeah, it's gonna be a hit. All right, pal. I will take care of this one. So this is a big shout out to Lori. It's we think it's a real honor when folks who watch the show reach out and sponsor a show. So we like to do something special for them. So this is for Lori.
I can't wait to spend my life with you by my side, 'cause you and I would just feel right together. Yeah, you and I would just feel right together. I found my forever. I found my forever. I found my forever.
So a nice video shout out for Lori. And did you know this, Kinsman? One of those pictures, you know who she was with? Michael Baldwin from The Young and the Restless. I love that photo. Love that photo, Lori.
Great photo. And again, a great tribute for a great viewer, great supporter of our show, Lori Ball. And again, she's been with us since episode 1 and has not missed an episode since. And again, she's and you're still we're still reeling from the shoveling we did there a few weeks ago.
Oh yeah, my back's still sore from that. But thank you so much to all our sponsors, and of course Lori for always supporting the show. And I love that Michael Baldwin photo. That and beautiful photo of her folks. So thank you for sending that to us. And
so
thank you for sponsoring tonight. That was very cool. Very, very cool. All right, Kinsman, are you ready to give away some
4 mugs? And again, within city limits, I'll deliver them right after the show tonight.
Wow. Even if someone's sleeping, you'll just leave it on the door?
Maybe, okay, well, if you're not there, then yes, tomorrow.
Yeah.
Some strange guy. We're going to get calls to HR here at KINZ and Klomp. Some guy in a KINZ and Klomp coat was knocking on my door at like 8 o'clock at night.
There it is.
Wasn't wearing a mask.
I think 9's the cutoff time there.
Yeah, 9's usually the cutoff. So we'll see what happens. We'll draw the winners, and we'll get those mugs to each and every one of them. Again, they're beautiful new KINZ and Klomp Live 2022 mugs.
All right, so we're giving away 4. Are you ready for the first one? Are we up on the screen?
Ready for the first one?
All right, Kinsman.
Here we go. Who's going to be sipping coffee in KINZ and Klomp style? There we go.
Glory Ball.
Glory won a mug.
Well, there you go. Right, it fits for tonight for sure. So
it fits, yeah. Congratulations, Glory. So there you go. She actually, she won mugs from the auction, or actually was one of the higher bidders. And she says the cups do fit a lot of coffee, so that's even better. And Stefan Roy, pardon me.
Yes, remember he got me on that before. He's got a ice cold Budweiser in his hand on this photo, so he can use the mug for that.
You can hide the Budweiser in there on your next Zoom meeting, Stefan.
This is the third one, pal. Don't let me overshoot.
No, here we go. Melissa.
Yes, Melissa. We saw them at Full Beard last Thursday, and then Aiden's birthday party. We're at Chad and Melissa's store, Leak Geeks.
That's right. And Melissa, big fan. You'll see Melissa over at the Timmins Public Library. Works with that great team over there. So this is mug, fourth and final mug here. Who's going to be drinking KINZ? Oh, Stephanie Lozier. There we go.
Were you about to say Stefan? You got them mixed up or what?
No, I said Stephanie.
You did, Kinsman.
There we go.
I don't know.
So we got Lori Ball, Stefan Roy, Melissa Viano, and Stephanie Lozier are the winners of these mugs. Look at that. Got 4 mugs. Going to wrap them up. I'm going to do KINZ and Klomp, not milk delivery. You fired me for that interview, but I'll deliver our mugs. I'm going to go back working for K&K now.
Right. Okay.
Not the Klomp
so hello. Is Mr. Kinsman there? You're supposed to say hello.
Oh, am I supposed to be talking here? Okay.
Yeah,
yes.
Right.
Hi, Klomp. Is this Klomp Dairy? Did I get the job?
This is Klomp Dairy. We were about to give you the job, but your references came through, and they said you just got too drunk at Full Beard there on St. Patrick's Day, and you embarrassed your current colleague. And Jamie Klomp did not give you a good reference.
No references.
Sorry to tell you. Are you disappointed in this news?
I'm disappointed. Yeah.
Okay. Well, maybe
what if I offer you a mug?
Okay. Well, we'll get you started Monday. All right. Now it's Monday morning. You come into the office, step into my office. You're fired, Kinsman. Just hired you to fire you. You did okay, but I can't give you the job, pal.
Can't give me the job. No.
Yeah. You're better off working for a company that has no recruiting standards, like
KINZ and Klomp Live.
KINZ and Klomp Live.
Escúchame, baby, yo te quiero, baby. Sin ti no valgo la pena. Sin ti esto es una condena. Escúchame, baby.